To understand, because there's a difference between phantom sources when we listen to loudspeakers. This is phantom source, and if you listen to me, for example, if you listen to me, your left and right ear just reaches the same frequency response at the same timing. But if you listen me over these two loudspeakers, both ears getting two signals with two different timings and two different frequency response, and your brain has to work. Oh, this is Jurgen standing here, and so this is also the difference to understand what is happening between the 10 milliseconds and 50 milliseconds. This is so-called the early reflection. So this is the sound that always touches any surface before it reaches you. And if you ever been in an anechoic chamber and listen to someone, you have no early reflections, and this as a result you have no idea how far this person is. So if this person cheats you, he is yelling when he is far away, and he's whispering when he's very close. You have no idea where this person is, and though it's also with live performance. Without these reflections, you have no idea how big the soundstage is, how far the musicians are from the wall, from the back wall, from the ceiling, from the floor, and how far the musicians are to each other. And these reflections are in a natural recording are recorded. And the first thought maybe would be, oh, then I would like to remove every reflection at my home to hear only this, what is on the soundstage. What would be then happening? If I would put absorbers here in the wall, what would happening? Only this middle row can be listened stereo. You would only hear this loudspeaker, and the others only that loudspeaker. You need these reflections in order to create a replication of the original sound, because of these phantom sources. These are, if you have playback, this is phantom sources. If you listen to the musicians, these are real sources. And so these reflections are necessary. And also, I'm also a recording mastering engineer. When I mix, I do make this translation check. So there are three different specifications of listening rooms, and one is the so-called critical listening room, where you have 0.35 seconds reverberation time, and the first reflections should be around 18 dB below direct sound, and with this I make the final mastering. So at the mastering stage I judge how would be the sound at your home. So every recording engineer does not only take into account the reflections of the recording venue, he does also take into account how would it sound at your home. So otherwise it would be no sense. What else for this? Okay, yeah, good. Every room has a different reverberation time and different reverberation time for different frequencies. So if you have a neutral room, that means that your reverberation time in the treble is similar to the mid-range, then the sound doesn't change much if you more closer or more far. If you have a more dull room or more bright room, then the sound will be also with the natural instrument more dull or more bright as with loudspeakers. But with this loudspeaker, as we radiate homogeneous into the room, that means that the early reflections have the same tonal characteristic as the original instrument would behave in the same room. And so this characteristic sounds then for your brain familiar. Oh, it sounds natural. And if you have, for example, loudspeakers that change the tonal characteristic too much when you change the direction. So that means that the early reflections have totally different frequency response than the direct sound. Then your brain will detect this, and your brain will tell you, oh, this is not natural. So in nature it would sound different, and this is one of the advantage of this system, that we radiate the same frequency response in every direction. So let's play the next song.